Okay, so I just thought I'll just do a little short video just to kind of update you guys. So I got home like, I don't know, 6:40 or something, and now it is 7:40. The doctor just called, so then I was like, okay. And then I've been getting lots of questions from my mom and my kids. So I thought I will do a little update so that you guys would know. This is basically what I'm going to be wearing for the next few days. And here's like the drain tubes and stuff. And all this binding. The binding is definitely uncomfortable for sure. It's like super tight. And but anyways, there were some things I wanted to talk about it too. Is the drive there? Oh my god, it was so fucking intense. I can't even explain it. It was like this spiritual battle that was going on, and plus my lips are super chapped, and I have drank so much fluid. I haven't eaten. I thought I'm just gonna go ahead and fast the rest of the day, and then eat tomorrow because it helps your body heal when you fast. So I was like, I'd probably just not eat anything right now. But I did take some Tylenol. I took 1,000 milligrams of Tylenol. It was pretty uncomfortable. Right here, right in my chest plate. But one thing is right behind my shoulders, like right here, doesn't hurt anymore. Like the weight of that pulling on my shoulders, so that doesn't hurt. But right now I can't really pull back. He said the incision's like 3 centimeters, super, super tiny. And then there's a little tiny one for the drain. And there's just like one little steri strip, I think, too. It was the weirdest sensation. It was a total trip. But I got to start from the beginning of the drive because, you know, I mean, I just going and doing the whole thing, like undoing my battery and then hooking my battery back up to drive and stuff. And the lights did go fucking crazy. Oh my God. It was embarrassing. There was cars that would stay back, way back from me. And sometimes they would start going. Sometimes they would go off for a second, and I'd be like, oh, relief. And then they'd start back. When it very first started, they were so loud. It was donk, 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 donk. I was like, oh my fucking God, this is so distracting. Feel so intense right now. I feel like it's like to all the cops, please pull me over and ask me what's wrong. And so I was like, oh, and remember, I didn't pay that ticket. So I was like, and so I so hold on. Hey, come on, come on. I started doing something, lady Jane. Oh my gosh, so hold on a sec. Okay, that's one treat, that's all. She had a rough day. She had a rough, lonely day. Okay, so oh my gosh, see, her tail is brutal. Okay, so I was driving. I could have stopped and just kept going, but this is my life. Okay, so it was a whole thing, you know, to come to the idea, because I could have taken the ride and I could have even gotten the Valium, but and it just felt like more personal, like this whole thing of like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, you know, I think talking to somebody who's been through it or something, they would get what I was saying. But, you know, it's a whole thing. And so, you know, I decided to just take myself and my guides kept telling me, trust, 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 trust. Anytime I would throw out doubt, they would just keep telling me, trust, trust, trust. But it was intense because if you've ever gone through feeling like you don't deserve something, you'll never get what you want, all those things. Well, that fucking dirty ass dark energy will just keep hounding at you and keep reminding you, you know, of whatever it is, your doubt or whatever. you know, you never get what you want and stuff. And like, you're asking too much. You're asking too much. And I would have to keep reminding myself of stuff because, like, even if I was late to the appointment or missed the appointment or something, that I wasn't going to miss it like the airplane or something, I would be able to reschedule. I'd already paid for the whole thing. So I kept trying to put things into calming terms as I'm like trying to talk myself off of the ledge the whole way. But it was so crazy because I had to listen to the radio because that's part of the other glitch is it won't do my phone or my Spotify playlist thing. And so my lips are so chapped and I've drank so much fluid. And so I think it was like I was kind of going into shock when it very first started, but I still want to finish this drive part because it was so crazy. So I had to listen to the radio, and it was like the radio was talking to me, motherfucking for sure. It was like they had created a soundtrack for this trip. It was so wild. That is too funny too, because I had heard that whispered in my ear. Well, I don't know, a few days ago, because there was the whole time it kept being like trust, you know, and there'll be a soundtrack, but there really was, there totally was. Even as I was pulling into the thing, it was like the song was the final countdown. It was all this stuff going the whole way, and it was like this total, lady, let me finish this for a minute. She's like, God damn, you've been gone all day. So let me think. So while I was driving and I was already feeling, you know, scattered about the hazard lights kept going, and please, and I had to keep taking my mind off of that and then being like, reminding myself, okay, what's meant to be is meant to be. So would you please stop it? Let me finish this, okay? Drama queen. Oh my God. Are you going out now? No, I'm not getting more food. I'm doing this. See, she rings a bell, so I'll go in and get her more treats. She acts like she's starving to death. She was crying when I came to get here, and I had, like, she was been so long since she's eaten. She ate this morning. Like, lady, I haven't eaten, and so and I've been out doing shit too, and okay, let me finish what I'm doing. God, lady. Okay, lady. So I was driving, and it was super intense, and just on my own shit. And there was this music that was going and these songs and stuff, and it was like talking me through it, and like cheering me on kind of. And so then there started being like, I swear to God, I don't know, I just want to call the dark energy the archons, because then you have kind of like, I was totally under attack the whole time. And there would be cars that would just all of a sudden come. Like this one point, I'm just driving, all of a sudden this truck decided to just come into my lane, and my horn won't work. And so I just put on my brakes. I didn't even realize there was a guy about to rear end me. He goes flying over on this side. It was wild like that the whole time. There was just wildness of like I was being dodged, and it was intense. I don't even know. I can't even remember all the things now, because then when I got on the highway to come home, there was one. As I guess I didn't see this guy, but I think he was going like 70 or something, because I just got on and I started to go over, and he started honking crazily and pulls up like I was crazy. And so anyways, I didn't see him, but I think he was going super fast, and I didn't move fast enough or something. But anyways, I was in his way, and he didn't like it. He started honking at me, and I went back over. But the rest of the way home, it was pretty easy, except for, you know, it's uncomfortable. But it wasn't the ride both ways. It was like it was so weird because on the way there, it was like it was pretty open. It wasn't trafficy or anything. And, but then it would just be these crazy things that would just all of a sudden happen. And that's why I was like, okay, the dark energy is fucking with me because they know how I feel. Like they were feeding off of that energy of, I don't know what else to say, to call it, but like, I don't deserve it. I won't get what I want. I don't know what else to call it except for that. And, but it was like it was feeding off of that, trying to make me, I don't know, trying to make me have a wreck or something. I'm not really sure. And, but I got there and everything was fine and everything was going right on time. And so then when they took me back there, then it got to be a little bit more intense, because when I'm sitting there, it was pretty intense, like while you're sitting there, like, I don't know, all morning even. If you start thinking about it. But then once I was there, and you're waiting and waiting, it's like, fuck. So finally get back there. And then when I got in the room, and the room was freezing cold, and then it was all this nurses doing stuff, and they're doing instruments, with these big lights and shit. And then it started being like, oh, fuck. I'm like, fuck. I was like, I wish I should have went and got that Valium. I'm kind of regretting that now. He's like, oh, you didn't take the Valium? I was like, no. And I said, I was going to have to get a ride with this person. And I was like, I think I'd rather just drive myself. And then he's like, oh, yeah, well, I get it. But anyways, so I didn't have anything. And when they very first started on the first one, oh my God, I swear to God, and I don't even believe about the flesh and blood thing, but once they cut into you and they're digging around inside of you, it's like, it's hard to get that out of your head. It's like, fuck, this is intense. And so, and then you feel all this stuff, like they pop it and all this fluid comes out, and then they pull it out, and it is like, sounds like a balloon coming out of you. And but you feel a lot of digging around and all that, and the incision is really tiny. And so that was intense. That was definitely where I was like, and I feel like I was kind of putting myself into shock or something, because my body was like shaking. And then they had a nurse come over and sit. Once I could sit and tell stories and talk, and she'd ask me questions and I could talk, then I didn't notice anything else. So I didn't notice anything about the other side, and it went really smooth. It was only when it very first started that was super intense. But then this sweet ass nurse was just holding my hand and talking to me. It was so helpful. I really appreciated that part. And then they put like a big curtain up so you can't see all the digging around they're doing. And I think there was like a little bit of cauterizing and stuff. And I think that it kind of hurts now. But I think this is going to be pretty simple of healing. I don't know, especially because the incision's so tiny. And and also the nurses told me, because after I was all done, they hadn't had people finish some surgery, who were awake. So they're all sitting there talking to me, and they're having me go slow. Okay, we'll sit up slow and stuff. So I sat up, and they got me some apple juice. I'm sitting there drinking the apple juice, talking to them. And it was so cool, because it was like this total feminine energy gathered around me. And there was like 4 of them. And they were all around me and talking, and we were talking about all sorts of stuff, body positivity, talking about like, when I said about the doctor putting in such bigger ones than I wanted, and we were talking about that and how that used to be like the style, and there was a lot of doctors who were doing that because they thought that was like looked better. They were like, back in the Pamela Anderson days, or it was like a style of where they put all these big implants in, and it's like, it was very uncomfortable. And I wish I would have pushed harder back then, but I mean, I don't know. There was a lot more arrogance too. Like, this doctor is so freaking nice. He's so nice. And like, he just called me, and then he's like, okay, this is my cell phone, just call me if you need anything. And I know it's his work cell phone. I'm not gonna be some weirdo calling him and texting him or something. But he's just super nice, super personable. And then the nurses also had said, like, how I totally scored. Remember what I said? It was a total universe. I just had put it out there. You see how stuff manifests. And then they were just, talking with the binding and stuff. And I was saying, man, I'm going to have to get all new shirts. Or I'm not going to fit any of my stuff. And or something, I don't know, or something about that. And then they were like, oh, you're gonna have to go buy some new clothes. But all those different dresses I bought for manifest for my new, like, if they were too tight in that part, I was like, okay, well, I'm still gonna get them because I'm getting those out. And so even if I didn't have the doctor, I didn't have the money, I didn't have any of the thing, but I knew that I was going to do that. And so I kept getting stuff that I got a few things a couple years ago and held on to them. So anyways, I kept focusing that. So that is how, like, to me, manifesting works, is you keep going towards what it is that you are aiming towards. And then it just starts happening. And but there is like a part of trust. But the whole thing with getting that doctor and totally lucking out, and then afterwards, so it was all this feminine energy, and they were all like impressed. Even the doctor, when he just called, he said that I was such a trooper, and like, they were impressed how well I did for just having local anesthesia and having surgery. Like, but it was intense. Like, I will definitely say it was intense. I'm not going to pretend like it wasn't. I'm pretty sure I was going into shock on that one part when my body was like shaking, and I'm just like, and in my head, I'm like, oh my God, they're in there digging around inside of me. And then, and that is why I think I'm kind of dehydrated or something. I feel like it pulled all the fluid out of me or something. I don't know. And then under all the fluorescent lights, I felt like I look like white as a ghost anyways. I swear, under those lights, I swear it makes you look like you're 20 years older. So, hopefully. But anyways, so I just wanted to do a quick video and kind of tell, because I knew there was some people who would appreciate knowing. Yeah, I got there, I got back, and like, one of my daughters, she's like, you're pretty bad. I think it was one of my daughter. It was in the group chat thing when I was doing the updates, but thought it was pretty badass that I drove myself to surgery, went with the local anesthesia, drove myself home. But anyways, couldn't be done, and I did it. And so I think it's just, to me, kind of, because one of my daughters was like, some people would say you're crazy. Oh, I've heard that plenty of times. But I feel like I'm a pioneer. It's like, and I'm not the first one. There was other girls. I didn't invent this. I saw them in videos. So anyways, but now it's done, and now I'm on the mend. So anyways, I'll be back tomorrow sometime in the morning or something and do like a regular video. So I'll talk to you later. Bye. Oh yeah, but remember to love yourself, to love everyone, and have a loving night, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.